Hey there, folks. Adam here. I want to go live, talk about these storms, track them as they develop. And there is a severe thunderstorm warning for Winnipeg now as well, too. So I'm going to bring that up on the ticker. Hi, everybody in the comments. Please say how you are and where you're coming from. Jerry says, I love this live streaming. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Nicholas says, hey, how's it going? These storms in deep southern Manitoba are moving extremely slow, which was kind of similar to last night. They were moving quite slow. We live streamed last night till 1 a.m., so that was pretty intense. And then it's interesting. As soon as our live stream got cut off at the 8-hour mark, I think literally I checked my phone 2 seconds later, and the tornado warning ended. So that timing was pretty good. Good timing there for sure. Elaine says, this is a great service. Thank you so much, Elaine. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Oh, we already got some reports. Katie says, just east of Winnipeg, pitch black. I'm sure. Let's go take a look at radar. If you have not yet, please download our free app. As you can tell, we notify folks when we are live streaming like we just did there. Here is the storm that is just south of Winnipeg. Let me hit play on the future radar so you can see which way they're going. We're doing something, actually, future radar's having a bit of a tricky problem with them right now. It's trying to pull them to the northeast, but they're kind of moving due east. I'll show you on the future radar here. It's a very odd motion that we're having right now. This kind of due east, almost northwest-ish, trying to build to the northwest. So we'll bring up raw radar and we will take a peek at that and track these storms as carefully as we possibly can. So that is the plan. Let's see here. At some point in time, I'm going to have to put my son to bed, and I may shut down the stream and then come back, depending on how the storm activity is doing. But I'm on my own. Yesterday, we were grateful enough to have meteorologist Alana Franks with us as well, too, which was exciting. But tonight, it's just me. So, yeah, we're going to have to deal with my schedule of putting my son to bed at some point in time. So that's going to be interesting how that does develop. But nevertheless, he is currently eating dinner right now and watching The Lion King. So he'll be fine for a while. Let me just flip over to, first and foremost, if you have not downloaded our free app, please do so. You can go to instantweatherapp.com. I'll put a link in the comments as well, too. Give me 1 second here. I'll put a link for that for all those who are new to the community. Welcome. And download our free app called Instant Weather at instantweather.ca/app to get notified of any alerts for your location. All right, I sent that in the comments there, so click that link and click Apple or Android at the bottom of the page, and then it'll take you directly to your particular app store. So I'm going to put up the, there's a few different severe thunderstorm warnings at the moment. Of course, our largest community is going to be Winnipeg, so we put the City of Winnipeg severe thunderstorm warning up on the ticker at the bottom here. And that doesn't mean there's not other areas that have some pretty intense stuff right now. Actually, I'm seeing a little bit of rotation near Stewartburn, west of Vita. So I'm gonna double check on that. Give me just a moment here, and I will bring that up on the stream. We'll take a look at the Woodlands radar, which is probably our best option right now. So let me go do that. This is the our upcoming Instant Weather Pro radar, which we're super excited about, and it's great for comparing reflectivity and velocity and all the different products as well too. We normally do a swipe over, but I'm going to do kind of a split screen situation here with this particular one. I wonder if I zoom this out, if it would be actually a little bit better. Let me see what I can do here. Probably zoom this out and it'd be fine. So let me do that here. Just a second. Is that the right one? I think so. Cool. Okay. So actually, I'll do that in the background. Give me just a moment. It'll be a little bit easier to see. Actually, if I flip over to split screen, it might just be fine. So let me try that right here. There's single. Here is split. I think split's probably the best option. Yeah, let's go with split. I like split. It's fun. And it's pretty unique to our Instant Weather Pro app. So Stewartburn, Gardenton, we're starting to see a little bit of maybe some developing rotation right here on this particular storm. I obviously do want to take a look at the Winnipeg storm as well. But right now, this storm is kind of standing out as a strengthening storm for sure. We're going to see what it's doing. Let's take a look here. Yeah, there's definitely some embedded rotation on this storm. As you can see, the whole thing's spiraling. And we're looking at wind velocity there. Here is the reflectivity. as a comparison. But or a comparison. Let's see here. If I swipe back and forth, yeah. So if you're in the Stewart Burn area, if you're in Gardenton, west of Vita, kind of in this general region right here, this storm does have a little bit of rotation on it, so it is going to be a concern. If you did not see, Environment Canada in their forecast actually put that there's potential for tornadoes with these storms. And they went with a severe thunderstorm watch, and just east of the Manitoba border into northwestern Ontario, which we are also live streaming in right now, our Northern Ontario pages, there is a tornado watch. So a tornado watch right here just east of Manitoba. And then in Manitoba, there is a severe thunderstorm watch. So we'll have to see how that does develop. But let's go take a look at this Winnipeg storm. Continues to move north. I guess it's just starting to come into southeastern Winnipeg at this point in time. I'm sure the photos look pretty impressive of that one right now. I think I saw a photo of it coming in. And we did have a report there that is pretty darn dark in that area. Let's see here. Let me see here. Rhonda was answering somebody's question. Oh, talking about Thunder Bay. Yeah, so Thunder Bay, we did. I think I did notify that area that we are live streaming, but it's questionable if you're actually going to see anything. Again, I would double check our app. Go to instantweatherapp.com and download it for free for Apple or Android, and then take a look at what the forecast is for that area. Take a look at the hourly forecast and see if you are expecting some precipitation. So it's possible that you are not. But this storm continues to move kind of to the north, which is interesting because it seems like they want to track to the northeast. And as we saw with future radar, it's trying to pull them to the northeast, but they just keep going north. So as you can see, there was some hail in there as well, and this storm is moving directly into the Winnipeg area. So it is definitely heading that way. It's moving extremely slow as well too. When you have a concrete jungle like Winnipeg, you have not a lot of places for the rain to go. So there is certainly a flooding risk with these storms. That might be, sometimes we have these big, strong, severe risks, and we're tracking rotation and we're tracking damaging winds and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, the flood impact is usually the most prevalent out of all the different impacts. So so it's pretty intense stuff. Definitely a flooding risk with these storms for sure. Yes. Rebecca is on the road to Labro. Is this moving west? That's a good question. Let me find you here. I think, where did you go? You should be down here. You're pretty close to, if I remember, close to Steinbach. Where did you go? There you are. I see. My geography skills are slowly increasing. Slowly. Is it moving west? So it's moving north. So definitely this storm by Vita down here is going to be heading kind of towards your direction. And the storm near Morris is tracking that way as well too. Let me just hit play on the radar. But you got to see the storms that are south of the border as well too. They're looking pretty strong. And they're heading up towards Manitoba right now. So that is certainly going to be a problem. Yeah, these storms they're trying to track northeast, kind of northwest. Some of them are stretching to the northwest. So we'll have to see. But definitely some torrential rain out there, hail for sure, damaging wind risk, and frequent lightning. And of course, an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. I'm still seeing a little bit of rotation on that Stewart Burn Vitacell. We'll have to keep watching that. It's a bit messy right now, but if I swipe over, you'll still see that there is some rotation potential there. I think we should have a new frame at some point in time. Let me just double check if we have a new radar frame yet. No, we still have the 24 frame there. Okay, so let me just scroll into the Morris storm, Sewell. Something's going on up here, but it's not too intense. Definitely some hail on that one as well too. But these storms south of the border, I think I've got some of the U.S. radars queued up as well too. Yeah, I do. Good. So this is the Grand Forks radar, and you can see, these storms south of the border are strong. Wow. Seen some. You can see the winds. Actually, I wonder if you can actually see them on the screen. Let me get that so you can see it, because it's pretty intense for sure. 404 says, I have a question. Your app has shown strong storms. heavy storms, and thunderstorms. So thunderstorms just mean storms with lightning. It's possible that they have relatively heavy rain. Heavy storms usually mean, a boatload of precipitation and can also have a lightning threat. And then when we talk about strong storms, that's we're getting into some pretty significant severe weather. So strong storms is usually what that means there, for sure. Let me just do some tweaking in the background. I'd like to get this a little bit more full screen. So give me just a moment here and stretch this out, make sure we can see all of the details here. There we go. And see, let's see here. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to tweak this just a bit so you can see our entire Instant Weather Pro suite, and then we can use the dual screen and the split screen and all that stuff. So let me just lock that in place and transition it. There we go. That's a little nicer. That'll do a little bit better. Okay. So as you can see at the top right, you can see the winds might be a bit small. If you're on a mobile device, turn your phone to the side or turn your tablet, if your tablet's vertical or your phone's vertical. If you turn it to the side, this will fill the whole screen, which is much, much nicer. Hi, Tina. How we doing? Good to see you. Yeah, that storm finally lost its tornado warning around 1 a.m. And that's basically exactly when I stopped live streaming. I stopped live streaming. I was like, I didn't want to stop before the tornado warning was over, but yeah, I stopped at 1 a.m. and then 2 seconds later, I checked my phone and the tornado warning ended. So I was like, whew, thank goodness. That thing just kept going and going forever. So that was interesting. Lynn says, no rain yet in St. Charles area of Winnipeg. It's coming. Heavy rain, southern Winnipeg, says Sydney. Yeah, it's definitely moving that way. This is just south of the border, but seeing some very strong winds here. 120 kilometer an hour gusts showing up on radar south of the Winnipeg border. Sorry, the Manitoba border. And yeah, moving to the northeast. So let me hit play on this and let's see how it animates. We should have at least a few frames from this particular radar station in order to animate. Maybe not. It's possible we don't. Ah, there we go. Okay. So yeah, these storms that are tracking up from the U.S., they're still hanging out south of the border. They're slowly moving to the north. Maybe more to the east in some of these cells. Like this really, really strong one seems to be moving towards Grand Forks. And it is an absolute beast of a storm for sure. But let's take a look again. I'll go back to our Woodlands radar up here and take a peek at what we are dealing with to the north. So I think this is the latest frame. This is the 36 frame. So this would be 536. And I mean, this storm is trying its hardest to track all the way through Winnipeg, but I'm not sure if it's going to. Let's see here. It might try to hang off to the east. Oh, it's trying. I feel like half of Winnipeg is gonna be like, never got a storm, and the other half is gonna be like, we got a storm. So we'll see. We will see. Whoa! Amazing person 3409. So reports of a haboob forming south of the border on that storm. South of yeah, yes, winds must be very strong in that storm. I'm sure. Yeah, that's a beast of a storm for sure. I do want to check on Northwestern Ontario as well, too, because we are live in Northwestern Ontario on our Northern Ontario pages. So we want to take a peek at some of these storms. This is a storm northeast of Kenora. Let's just have a peek here. Just a lot of noise on radar, a little bit of hail, nothing too significant yet. But these storms that are currently affecting Manitoba are going to be tracking to the northeast, and they will impact these areas. So let's take a look at Environment Canada's forecast. They actually had a pretty solid forecast for Manitoba and for Northwestern Ontario, so I'll bring those up on the stream. This particular one is for Manitoba. As you may have seen, we posted that earlier. And the areas that you see here in orange are the areas that are labeled as B, and B talks about 90 to 110 kilometer an hour wind gusts, 3 to 6 centimeter hail, which is big, 50 millimeters of rainfall, which definitely could cause some isolated flooding. And as you can see, that little swirly, there's also potential for tornado as well, too. So that covers Winnipeg, Steinbach, and much of southeastern Manitoba. Brandon is in the yellow area, as you can see, and therefore you're looking at 90 km/h wind gusts, 2 to 3 centimeter hail is possible, 30 millimeters of rain. But it's going to be pretty interesting to see how far northwest these storms get and how strong they're going to be. So we're going to be watching that very closely. If we jump over here to the Northwestern Ontario map as well, so you can see that Kenora is covered in this particular case, the letter C, which is pretty similar as far as the risks are concerned when you compare it to the Manitoba map. And then areas in B, which has Dryden in there. Thunder Bay looks like it's going to be non-severe, but we will have to watch how that does develop. But that is the Northwestern Ontario map from Environment Canada as well too. So anyways, we're going to keep tracking these and watch them very, very carefully. And again, this is our brand new Instant Weather Pro that we've been working on for about a year now. We've been building it for the NTP and the NHP, the Northern Tornadoes Project, which is very exciting. And we're super excited that we're going to be launching this as a subscription tier in our existing app is the plan. We'll see how compatible it is. We're starting to work on that right now. So we built this whole system up, and then we're going to making sure it's compatible with the existing app. And if it's not, we'll just launch it as a separate app. But we're fairly confident that it's going to be compatible with the existing app. So let's see here. We have the latest frame we do, which is 36. You can start to see some development actually southwest of Winnipeg. So these storms are continuing to bubble up and to develop further to the northwest as well too. This is a little bit zoomed out. So I'm going to go back into my little studio mode here. And I just want to get this a little bit more zoomed so that we can make sure we have the city names are showing up properly for everybody here. I definitely don't want it to be too small. So let's do that. And actually I'm going to use, I'll flip over to dual mode so I can use the center point as a reference. Okay, let's see how this is. Is that a little bit better? I think so. I think that's a bit better. We'll stick with that. Why not? Nothing like adjusting this on the fly here. Yeah, I just want to make sure the city names are big enough for a lot of folks. So I know a lot of folks are watching this on their phone or on their tablet, and sometimes it's hard to see those city names when it comes to watching on mobile devices. So definitely want to make sure that everybody can see. And let's just zoom that in slightly. Yeah, that should be a bit better. Okay, so let's hit animate. Watch these storms. We'll see what happens in the U.S. with those storms if they're gonna move into parts of Manitoba. It's possible, as you can see, things are trying to push to the north. Again, definitely a flooding risk with these storms. Large hail, damaging wind gusts, and frequent lightning is basically what's happening here. So your classic severe weather setup, and some of these could be potentially pretty strong. I do want to keep an eye on that Vita cell. Still showing some, you can see it over here. So this is reflectivity, and this is velocity. So you can certainly see that you're having some interesting signatures right here. This is a little bit of broad, weak rotation, but it is showing up on this particular storm. So we're going to continue to watch that one closely. And as well, these ones near the border, let me just jump over to Minot's radar as well too, see if we can get a different perspective on it. Yeah, that storm is quite a beast here. This is seeing quite a bit of rotation. This is south of the border, but we're seeing quite a bit of rotation right here near Fordville. So it should be interesting. And that's in North Dakota there. If I flip back over to the Grand Forks radar, yeah, that storm is super duper strong. Hopefully everybody south of the border is staying safe on that one, because we're seeing some pretty strong values here. 120 km/h wind gusts are showing up on radar. So those are super, super strong winds here in the kind of light blue, baby blue area. So that is a problem. But again, it's south of the border right now with those storms. Let me jump back up to the storms that we're dealing with here. So severe thunderstorm warning for Winnipeg with the storm. Again, flooding risk is top of mind, but definitely some large hail is possible as well too. Some damaging wind gusts are possible as these storms continue to strengthen, and frequent lightning for sure. And we'll see if there's any rotation, anything strong enough. Last night was bananas. We live streamed till 1 a.m. It was pretty crazy, but we hope everybody stayed safe last night as well too. Those storms were absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's see here. Jonathan, tugging on my heartstrings here. He says, "Are you ever going to add 3D view that you guys had in Tornado GPS?" Yeah, that's the plan. We still have the IP. Like we built basically the first 3D mobile radar that has ever existed. It existed before that for Windows computers, but it never existed for mobile devices. So that was our original app, Trainer GPS. We had to sunset it, unfortunately, because of data stream issues. But yeah, we still have that IP. So we're planning to bring back some 3D radar, but we're working on some actually really, really cool stuff right now. So I can't wait to show you that as well too. I think we're going to do a live presentation and talk about this Instant Weather Pro and talk about some other stuff that we're working on right now. So it's definitely going to be interesting. Little hook on that storm south of Springsteen on that latest frame. Along the boundary. Yeah, southwest of Winnipeg. Thank you very much. So yeah, Jonathan, cool things are coming. So thank you for your question. I really appreciate it. Pat says it's here. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you so much, Pat. Thank you kindly. Let's go take a look at that latest frame. Give me 1 second here. I'll just flip over to velocity and back. That'll load the latest frame here. Oh, yeah. Amazing person 3409. Interesting. Not seeing any rotation, but definitely a little hook. Rotation is super, super weak off the Springsteen here. But definitely a little hook on that particular storm. So that's something to watch closely as well. Interesting. So yeah, we have to definitely pay attention to that. Little hooking, trying to be a baby little supercell over there. That Vita storm still looking pretty grumpy for sure. Let's see here. Still seeing some rotation here near Arbaca, south of Vita. So that is something to continue to watch. It's not super duper organized yet, but it is developing. So we're going to have to watch that closely. And let's hit animate again. Yeah, you can see that boundary. Pretty impressive. Ginger says, East Selkirk, Manitoba is getting dark. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's a hook. It is a hook for sure, but there's no rotation there. So that's an interesting thing. We have to see if it definitely, if it kicks up. Christy, hi again from last night. How are you? She says, hail in Transcona. Is it Transcona? Is that how you pronounce it? Transcona? Please let me know. Robin says, have fun at the bomber game, everyone. LOL. Yeah, that should be interesting. Brandy says, anything for Dauphin? I don't think so. But it's possible later into the evening that you might see some storms, but it's questionable if they're going to be severe. But yeah, we'll definitely have to keep an eye out. Beverly Frost says, you often refer to a hook. Can you explain that for us uneducated stormcasters? Stormcasters. Are you casting storms? That could be dangerous. Okay, let me see here. I'll show you this tiny little hook. We're just talking about in reflectivity. So we're looking at two different sides of the two different radar products right now. On the right side of the screen, we're looking at velocity, which is your wind. As you can see when I move my mouse around, you can see way up here, you can see the kilometers per hour changing as my mouse over. And then as I go over here, you can see dBz, which is the strength or the density of the precipitation. So heavy rain is going to be 55 dBz. That's torrential rain here. But in reflectivity, so when we're looking at rain and hail, that product of radar, you can actually see a hook. So you can see this this southern appendage that is curling around at the south side of the storm. So when we talk about a hook, we're talking about something similar to this. This is actually a pretty classic little hook right now. So that's kind of what we're talking about. Red Box says, will Dryden get hit? Maybe. You have some risk for your area. It's possible. Kenora, Dryden, that area is certainly in the target, and I believe tornado watch for many of those areas. So definitely let me know if you're under a tornado watch right now. If you're under severe thunderstorm watch, let me know. And if you're unsure, definitely download our free app. So if you go to instantweatherapp.com, you can download our app for free. I will jump back to it to see the latest past and future radar. Maybe it'll give us a better idea of if these storms are going to be tracking up from the US. I mean, that's the idea, but we'll see here. Let's just do a little coverage area right now. I'm going to flip back over to our app. Here is our app right here. And as you can see, that storm moving into Winnipeg under a severe thunderstorm warning from Environment Canada. As well, we have strong storms to the south, kind of in the Morden area, in the Winkler area as well. And then you have these ones south of the border that are pretty intense near Grand Forks and Grafton. We'll have to see if they do track up into Canada. Right now, the Grand Forks one is kind of moving due east, but it may eventually start stretching to the north as well. So over here in Northwestern Ontario, you can see Kenora, you see Dryden above me here. And you can see that there is some storm development northeast of Kenora. So I'll have to see if that does continue to strengthen as well too. Let me hit play on Future Radar. Huge thank you to those who have upgraded their app to remove ads and extend the Future Radar to 5 hours. I've said this a million times, but without you, this app would not be able to be free for everybody else. So without the subscriptions from you wonderful folks, the little ad banner at the bottom just doesn't cut it. We cannot cover our costs for expensive radar data, expensive Future Radar data, and all the servers, all the development, et cetera, et cetera. So huge thank you to all those who have upgraded, gone to the menu at the top left, click upgrade art, and chose one of the subscriptions. Sincerely appreciate it. So thank you. So that is your past and future radar. You can see the time above my head here, and this is the upgraded future radar that goes out 5 hours. So it looks like it's going to be a long night again. It was a long night last night. It was intense. We live streamed till 1 a.m. and that was pretty intense for sure. So yeah, we'll see if that ends up happening tonight. Again, at some point in time in the next probably about 45 minutes, I do have to. I got to put my son to bed. So there's that. So I don't know if I'm going to shut down the stream or if I'll do like be right back. We'll see. I'll probably shut down the stream, and then we'll see if I can come back as well after I put him to bed. So we'll see. Greg says audio bad for anyone else. Oh, is the feed glitching? That's not good. All right, let me work on it. Audio's breaking up. Just doing this last night. Give me a sec. I'm gonna reboot my sound card. Just okay, that fixed it last night. We'll see if that happens again. How's it now? Is it okay? Is it hopefully it's a lot better. That's what I did last night. I just rebooted my audio card and then it was just totally fine. So let me know in the comments if the audio is better. Hopefully it is. Perfect, says Ashley. That's a good sign. Much better now. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I haven't rebooted my computer in a long time. Maybe I should do that. So might be a good idea. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Thanks for the feedback. Thank you kindly. Thanks for letting me know that it was getting glitchy. I'm glad it's better now. Okay, so let's just hit pause on that. We will go back to the raw radar data. Let me just make sure I've got the latest available, and I will update that. What do we have here? We have the 48 frame, so the 548 radar frame. Let's jump back to that and see what we've got. Ethan is over in Thunder Bay and says, currently in Thunder Bay and being bright and sunny most of the day. That's good, Ethan. Thunder Bay might be out of the risk. So even though we did notify folks that we were going live, you might be out of the risk. So we'll have to see exactly how it does develop for your particular area. Interesting. Okay, so we did have some reports of some hail in southern Winnipeg. I'm not sure the size, probably relatively small. Kimberly says, any tornadic spin near the city. Let's go look. I haven't seen any, but this is a beast of a storm, though. I mean, look at this storm. Holy. It's kind of tracking through southeastern and eastern Winnipeg. It came up from the south, looked like it might be hitting the Winnipeg storm shield. It's always being referred to. The storm shield that stops storms from hitting Winnipeg. Is that a real thing? No, but it's, I mean, there's a microclimate in large cities, so, it could have some effect on it, but this storm is trying to exit, although you do see further development between Oak Bluff. See that development like north of Oak Bluff? It's we might see it cover into other parts of Winnipeg as well, but we'll have to see. Yeah, huge dust storm in the Dakotas. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Says Georgina. Yeah, and North Dakota. I mean, that storm is kicking up. I'm sure it's kicking up some huge dust right now. It is a pretty beastly storm just south of the border. It looks ridiculously strong. So, Stuart says the sky just opened up and rain is coming straight down with no wind and feeling very warm just north of Brandon. Okay, thank you for that report. Let's go take a peek over there as well too. Greg says the audio is still a bit staticky once in a while. Is it staticky when I'm moving the radar around? That might be the case. I have an idea for that. I think I'm actually streaming in 60 frames per second. So if I flip it to 30, it may solve all of our problems. Give me just one sec. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I'm just going to flip this over to 30 frames per second. Give me... All right. Hopefully that did it. We'll see. Coffee Queen says, actually, yeah, audio is not as good as last night. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see here. Let me see. I might be able to tweak some of my settings here, so I might be able to make it a little bit better. All right, let's see if that does a little bit better. We'll see. We will see. Hopefully it's not... AJ says, might be the Lion King stream. Yeah. I mean, I've got a pretty good connection from Rogers here, so we'll see. We'll see. Got a gigabyte, so downloading movies. That's probably already buffered by now. I don't think it's a problem. We'll see. Nicole says, my friend lives in Anola, and she says her trees look like they're about to snap, and her daughter is on Highway 15. Apparently, wind is so strong, it's almost pushing cars off the road. Eek. That's not good. Rick says, your video is not totally clear. Hopefully it clears up. Audio was crisp. Is it getting crispier? Hopefully it sounds clear now, says Kimberly. It's looking good on my end, says Ethan. But it's good now, too. All right. All right, we'll see. Ethan says, really appreciate your stream when Barry Tornado hit last year. You're very welcome, Ethan. I'm glad you stayed safe. It was pretty intense, for sure. Absolutely. All right, so no audio issues, quality issues on Facebook, says Melissa. Okay. All right, let's go take a look at that storm. That is, now hold on. Where did we hear that crazy strong wind report there from? Anola. So let's go take, oh, that's that storm right there. So, yeah, we're getting really strong wind reports from Anola. Yeah, there's some 60s, 70s on radar there, just to the north. So it's possible you drove through those. That is not weak. So you're driving through that, it's going to be pretty intense for sure. Let me just flip to a higher elevation so we can take a look and see if we can get a better idea of what folks are experiencing. Tiny bit of rotation with that hail pocket there. Could be noise. Still not looking this. I'm still not liking this Vita storm. It is pretty intense. Gardenton, Vita area. There is definitely still some rotation. Isolated, kind of broad, kind of weak, but it's definitely still some rotation there as well too. Just wanted to go over and peek. I know somebody mentioned Brandon, Manitoba here, said lots of rain to the north. Yeah, but no wind, I think they said. Yeah, it's a pretty weak looking little cell there for sure. Let me just jump to the bottom here. No wind, very little here. Yeah. Wow, Julie says Anola area, biggest winds we've ever seen. Lots of downed trees, and we went to the basement. Radar does not look that strong, but the reports are intense. So maybe radar's just not picking up on the intensity closer to the surface. That is possible. Radar scans like 1,000 feet above the surface. So if you yeah, if it's not picking up on what's actually happening here, then this is potentially quite a dangerous storm. Um, it's just really not picking up those winds, even at the lowest tilt, the lowest tilt of radar. I'm not seeing that, but if trees are bending, that's definitely not a good thing. So Ashley says, Winnipeg getting tons of rain right now. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're getting lots. Cindy says, pea-sized hail just north of Oak Bank. Thank you very much. Chantel says, pouring rain in the north end of the city. Thank you kindly. Unam says, loud thundering, but no rain in South Winnipeg. Thank you very much. Julie says it didn't last long. About 4 minutes of intense wind. Lots of rain now, but no wind at all. Thank you very much, Julie. Appreciate that. Looks like the strongest wind reports we're seeing is going to be from over in the Anola area. Let me just hit animate so we can see as that storm passed through Anola if it... Yeah, there were some strong winds as it passed through Anola, so that would have been pretty nasty if you were traveling, I'm sure. See here, Headingley just had small hail, says Jamie. Thank you very much. Appreciate that report. Let's see here. East Winnipeg, no wind, says Cadence. Thank you kindly. Lots of ground truth coming in. Let's see here. Tan says lots of thunder in Kenora right now. So let's go take a peek at that as well, too. Again, we are covering not just Manitoba, but we are also covering Northwestern Ontario. So let's go take a peek at the Kenora area. Thunder in Kenora right now. Yeah, so there's a pretty strong storm north of Kenora. But there could be some lightning here as well, too. That's something we have to add to our Instant Weather Pro app. We're going to be doing that pretty soon. We're adding lightning data, so that's very exciting. Let's see here. Amazing Person 3409 YouTube says, seen videos of pea-sized hail and some 70-kilometer-an-hour coming from East Winnipeg. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you for that report. We have rain, but no rain, but lots of wind by Confusion Corner in Winnipeg. Now wind has totally died down. Thank you kindly. Valerie says, can you look at Carmen? We're about to get hit. I can, and I will. Just take a little zoom in. Where is Carmen again? I always have my search option, don't I? I do. Let's take a peek. Carmen. Carmen MB. There you are. Scroll to the bottom, and you will... There we go. There's Carmen. I was going to start singing Where in the World is Carmen, Manitoba. Nothing? Okay. I'll move on. Where in the world is Carmen, Manitoba? So just to the west of Homewood here, let's see, west of Sperling. I'm going to hit animate on radar so we can see. Is that Sperling storm coming your way? I wouldn't doubt it. Whatever happened to Carmen Sandiego? That was a good show. Yeah, it's trying to come your way, but if you look at that last frame of radar, it kind of stops in its tracks. So hold on, let's zoom in here. Like, oh, Carmen's definitely gonna get this storm right here. And as I as I go forward, it doesn't move west at all. Let me go back one. Okay, it's in the middle of Honeywood. It's in the middle. Sorry, Homewood, middle of Homewood. It's still in the middle of Homewood. So it wants to go your way. You'll eventually get something probably, but right now, not seeing anything. Oh, that storm is connecting right over Winnipeg. So looks like other areas of Winnipeg are going to be getting some torrential rain now as well too. Again, velocity winds don't look too crazy strong right now, but we did have some pretty impressive reports coming out of Anola. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Amazing Person 3409 says, might be some weak rotation in that Kenora storm. It can be seen better on tilt 2. Let's go have a peek. Heading back over. Ooh. Still want to keep an eye on what's happening south of the border and what's happening in deep, deep southeastern Manitoba as well. But if I click over and we take a look at that Kenora cell, and I go up to tilt 2, like Amazing Person 3409 was mentioning, yeah, I see. Maybe you're thinking about what's in here. Yeah, it's tiny little bit of rotation. It's in a strange spot. On the leading edge there. So something worth watching for sure. But thank you for looking out for us. Appreciate that. Amazing Person 3409. You're definitely amazing. Woozle effect. I love these super granular questions. Woozle effect is pulling out the, do you think I have enough time to cut the grass in Russell, Manitoba? How long does it? I need to know exactly how long it takes you to cut the grass. You could have like acres and acres for all I know. So if you can give me some exact details on how long it takes to cut the grass, then I might be able to give you some. Yeah, I might be able to give you some sort of details there. That is a very, very specific request. Enough time to cut the grass in Russell. Let's go take a peek here over in Russell. Russell's doing a whole lot of nothing right now. So you probably have enough time. Let's go take a peek at the app. We'll add Russell on the app. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to jump over to our app. This is our app, Instant Weather. Please go download it. It is free. Woozle goes with a meh 45 minutes. I think you're probably okay, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit the magnifying glass at the very top right of the app. I'm going to type in Russell. Nope, Rudsell. That's not right. SSELL. I'm sure Manitoba is going to be an option. What? Okay, if there's no Manitoba option, type MB afterwards. Russell Binsgarth is what it comes up as. There we go. I'm going to click that. I'm going to click yes. We're going to go over to the minutes product, not the hours. I'm going to minutes. We're going detailed here. It says 7 p.m. It says 7 p.m. If you take 45 minutes, you might have a 7-minute buffer. If you leave now, you might be able to mow your lawn. Woozle effect. You have to leave the live stream, mow the lawn. You might have a 7-minute buffer. Based on our app, it's saying that you have a 60% chance of showers at 7 and light rain at 7:15. So from showers to light rain, so it's like sprinkle to light rain, and then it's not really picking up until I don't know, maybe till later on this evening. No, that might be your window there. So yeah, you might get some rain. You might get some rain exactly 40, maybe 52 minutes from now. So yes, I would say you might have a chance. You might have a chance. Side note, if you go to Winnipeg on our app, it says strong storms. These are pretty intense storms for sure. And yeah, so far the winds aren't anything too crazy, but strong storms, a few storms may be severe if you look into the details. Side note, if you didn't know this, you can click on these blue bars and they will expand with more details. Ba-ba-da-ba. So yeah, definitely some pretty intense storms right now. Let me go over back to live radar and we will see. Yeah, those storms south of the border are crazy. Cole on our team is talking about the 80-mile-per-hour maximum wind gusts the National Weather Service is talking about for Grand Forks. So that storm just south of the border looks intense. Intense. So here is your storms right now. Let me just scroll this back and we can get a better look at the whole area, including Kenora and Dryden, International Falls area, Fort Francis. Let's take a look at what we are dealing with here. But that storm right down there, you can see Grand Forks at the very bottom of the animation, and it looks intense. That storm is intense for sure. So again, hopefully everybody's staying safe with these storms. Just tracking them the best we can. At some point in time, I will have to duck out to put my son to bed. But after that, I may come back. I may not. We'll see. We will see. Magic Moon says, Toonie size hail. Whoa, where's that, Magic Moon? Please let me know where you're located. This says first hitting in Pinawa. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Mason Person 3409 said, just saw a picture of some flash flooding. Looks to be past ankle deep. This is coming from Island Lakes. Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely a lot of flooding risk with these storms, especially because they're moving so slow. When storms are moving slow, it's not helpful. Looks like Winnipeg's going to be in it for a while and might get a few rounds as well, too. Maybe another run later on this evening. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Mason person 3409 says 80 miles per hour, 128 kilometers an hour. Those are intense. Woozle effects bring us with them on their headphones. So maybe some AirPods or something to that effect. A little wireless. Audio has gone static again. Why is my audio? You know what? It might actually be the app animation. I'm going to stop that. I bet you it gets better. Let me know. Is it still garbage? Might need a reboot at some point in time. You're breaking up again. Is it still brutal even though I hit pause on that? That's somewhat frustrating. How about now? Sound is cutting out. All right. It was better when I hit pause. Oh, okay. Better with pause. Oh, okay. Well, I rebooted my sound card anyway. So, yeah, I think the feature radar there seems to be giving my audio a hard time. Better when you cut the animation. Aha. Interesting. That's good to know. Maybe I'll just stick to our raw radar data for now until I reboot this beast. Not static, it's janky. Yeah, that's probably a better word. It's like a bad Zoom call, right? Yeah. Just go with bad Zoom call when you're describing the audio. The static would be like, like your favorite radio station, 101 point fuzz. Winnipeg still in it. In it to win it here in Winnipeg. Still getting some heavy rainfall. Let's hit play and see what's going on for the Winnipeg. Lots of torrential rain. Ooh, it's developing around top of the city, and it's kind of not moving. So certainly some flooding risk on this connection point here, where it's just constant rain. It says, what else do you have on the computer that you don't need? Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. But I'm running a lot of monitors too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and my phone is 8. So yeah, it's running a lot. And then I have the laptop as well, and it's also running another monitor as well. So there is a in south of the border, there's a tornado warning for just west of Grand Forks area. But currently, we're not seeing anything but severe thunderstorm warnings for parts of Manitoba. To be fair, severe thunderstorm warnings are still, serious, and you should still take them seriously. But currently, we are not seeing any super strong organized rotation on this side of the border, which is good news at this point. It's great news, actually. Vita area is still looking interesting, but a little washed out, a little messy on the reflectivity. So it's nothing super organized in reflectivity. Let's go take a look at this Winkler storm. Interesting. Some interesting signatures there. Seeing maybe a little hint of some rotation, some strong inflow, but nothing too spectacular right now. So at this point in time, a lot of rainfall, a lot of rain, small hail, St. James, Winnipeg, says Olivia, lightning, thunder, and flooded street. Caden says, my backyard went from dry to a 3-inch deep lake. I'm sure it did. Where is that exactly? Is that in Winnipeg? We can go take a look at some of the reports as well, too. Side note, if you have not yet, please join our reporting groups. We have one for Ontario, and we have one for Manitoba. We have one for Saskatchewan and Alberta as well, too. But if you're on Facebook, search up Manitoba Storm Reports, the group. And if you're in Ontario, you can search Ontario Storm Reports as well, too. The group. We also have our Facebook pages, but we're specifically talking about a group where you can share your reports and everybody can see them. So it's actually quite helpful there as well. Yes. So What is happening? Severe thunderstorm watch for Dryden and surrounding areas, says Rick. Thank you kindly. And I know there is a tornado watch in place in northwestern Ontario, but it seems to be very isolated to Sioux Narrows, Nestor Falls, Northwest Bay. So it's very, very isolated. So Kenora is in the severe thunderstorm watch. Yes, that's right. Olivia says, thank you for your hard work and information. You're very welcome, Olivia. My pleasure. Thanks for having me in your device. Yeah, be like in your living room, but you could be like in bed watching on an iPhone or an Android phone or something like that. These things happen. I should live stream from bed. That'd be awesome. It'd be great. Just me lying in bed on my phone, just being like, hey, everybody. That'll be compelling. Very compelling. Okay, let me hit pause. Make sure we have the latest frame. We should be getting an update pretty soon. What frame is this? This is the 06 frame, so we should actually have an update soon. I think should be getting one pretty soon. I would assume. What's going on over here? Interesting. So some pretty strong winds. A Cinneboya. I think it's a Cinneboya, right? Yes. We've been through this on many live streams, but Headingley areas basically west of Winnipeg here. Could be some fairly strong winds and some hail over there as well too. Mainly just torrential rain we're seeing on radar for the Winnipeg area, but we have had reports of small hail as well. Mm-hmm. So there's that. Ellen says, tell me about Omaha. Omaha is a wonderful state located in. Wait, hold on. Did you want to know about the location or did you want to know about weather for Omaha? I'm not necessarily covering Omaha weather right now, but I can take a look. I can check for you if you'd like. Brittany says the Red River actually just got hit. With hail and downpour. Thank you, Brittany. Appreciate that. Alina says, or Alina says weather. For Omaha, like where specifically? Is there like an exact? Wait a minute. Is there an Omaha, Manitoba? Are you referring to Manitoba or Omaha south of the border? Please clarify. Let's hit play and see what's happening here. Lots of rainfall. Winnipeg is in it. And storms are starting to develop into northwestern Ontario as well, too. Rick says Nebraska. No, I know. Omaha, Nebraska. Oh, okay. Good point. Good point. I'll take a look into Nebraska for you if you'd like. Covering weather up here in Manitoba and northwestern Ontario. But hey, let's go take a look at Nebraska while we're at it. Give me 1 sec. I'll just double check on my phone for you. I'll let you know. I'll let you know what's happening. Nebraska. Okay, so what's happening in Omaha? Looks like you might have some potential for strong storms later, but right now, currently, there's a whole lot of nothing and maybe a little bit of rain to your south. So hopefully that helps, Elena. But there might be some severe weather potential for you later. Amazing Person 349 says nearly 70 millimeters was measured from that stalling cell that continuously dumped rain on top of Dominion City. Wow. 70 millimeters. That's definitely some pretty significant flood risk. Interesting. So again, hope everybody's staying safe with these storms. Let's see here. Karen says nothing for Stonewall anymore. Let me go check. Let's go search for Stonewall. Got it. There we go. Okay. Stonewall. Good question. There's a giant line of storms to your south, and they're kind of moving to the northwest. So, are you going to see some rain and some storms? Is possible. Here's Stonewall right here, and here is the line of storms that is tracking kind of this way. It might just miss you, but it looks like it's heading in your direction. So, Stonewall may have a chance to see some storms with this system. Greg says we just had an inch of rain in Morris over the last 30 minutes. Ouch. Dion says getting nasty in Selkirk east of Stonewall. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Yeah, look, you can see Selkirk at the very top of that animation, and it's definitely moving into your area for sure. If I go right here, you can see Selkirk, and I'm sure you're looking at this giant front that's coming in, the giant shelf cloud heading in your direction. So, yes, so there's that. Johan says, how about Selkirk? Here you are, right here, watching you. Let's see here. Let's just flip back and make sure we have the latest radar frame. Yeah, we do have the latest radar frame there. So I think this is noise. Normally I'd be concerned with this velocity signature, but it's kind of looking like noise, I think. Maybe. Yeah, it's definitely noise because Rossdale's here and Rossdale's here, and that is definitely noise. So that is not rotation. Got to pay attention to those things. Saucy Studios MB says the Red River X is in Winnipeg right now. Weather's always wonky that week. Makes sense. Let's see here. Okay, so we're continuing to watch these storms. Again, I do have to put my son to bed pretty soon, actually. So I think I'm going to go do that. I think I'm going to shut down the stream. I'm going to go put him to bed. And then I will watch radar. And if we start to see some strong rotation, if we start to see some really strong damaging wind gusts, then I will most likely crank the stream back on and get this going again. And also, too, not just in Manitoba, but also in Northwestern Ontario, I'll be watching closely. But yeah, so we're going to continue to watch this big flood risk with these storms, hail risk for sure. Damaging wind risk is there, and there it could be some isolated tornado activity as well too, especially really close to the international border. So we're going to have to watch that very, very carefully. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Rose. Appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Thank you. Excuse me. Let's see here. Kimberly says my stream has been frozen for a while now. If your stream is frozen, then definitely refresh. If you hit refresh, it'll get better. Or if you maybe try a different device or a different browser, that can certainly help. So, yeah, I'm gonna shut down the stream. But again, I'm gonna go. I'm definitely gonna go. Oh, cool. Elena, check local forecast for Reed Timmer. Yeah, search for Reed Timmer. He's covering a lot of the U.S. and Ryan Hall usually does as well too. Both of those guys are fantastic. So I would definitely check that for south of the border stuff. I cover it up here north of the border, but they cover the weather down there south of the border quite well. So, but yes, got to put my 5-year-old to bed. So I'm gonna go do that process. It sometimes can take a while, depending on how how cooperative he's been at any particular point in time. So, again, flooding risk with this storm through Winnipeg. We've already heard of some pretty intense rainfall as well. So Yeah, and again, there's going to be pretty intense storms moving in through extreme southeastern Manitoba and into parts of northwestern Ontario as well too. So if things really do crank up, chances are I'll be back with another stream. Um, we'll have to see. We'll just have to see if the storms develop. So I'll be watching closely. Nonetheless, I'm always on my phone. I'm always watching radar. So if you want to know if there are any alerts for your particular area, go download our free app. It's called Instant Weather, and you can download it at instantweatherapp.com. I'll put that in the comments one more time. Download our free app, mobile app at instant. Just one second here. Instantweather.ca/app on Apple or Android to get notified the second an alert is issued for your location. Perfect. I sent that in the comments. Please download the app. It's free. Again, a huge thank you to those who have upgraded the radar and removed ads from the app with a subscription. Your subscriptions make all the difference. We would not be able to have the app for free for everybody else if it wasn't for the subscriptions offsetting the costs of providing all of this data and the development of it and the servers and all of this stuff that we have to run, which is a blast. We love doing it. We've been working on it for many, many years now, and we're super excited that so many folks love the app. So if you're using our app and you like it, please let everybody know in the comments if you like it. Even let them know if you don't like it. But hopefully everybody can get some feedback from you to see if you're actually enjoying it as well too. So I'm going to shut down the stream, but I will probably be back. Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to say for sure. It all depends on how strong these storms get in southern Manitoba and northwestern Ontario. So if they do crank up a lot, and if we do see some strong damaging wind signatures, if we do see some strong rotation signatures, then chances are I will probably be back. I may possibly be maybe back at some point in time, or I'll just continue to watch on my phone. So either or, I'll be tracking the storms nonetheless. Whether I'm live or not, we're watching a lot. That's what we do is we watch. So thank you so much, Curtis. I appreciate that. He says, great app. Thank you kindly. Thank you so much. Side note, I did a 8-hour live stream till 1 a.m. last night, which was intense. So I needed a lot of coffee to get going for the live stream today, but I'm glad I did. Kayla says Winnipeg West by the perimeter has flooded streets. Thank you, Kayla. I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely a lot of flooding risk with all this torrential rain here. So, and the fact that the storms are moving so very slowly is a problem. So we're going to have to just continue to watch them closely. So we'll see. We'll see what happens and we'll see what develops. So thank you very much, everybody. I will be talking to you very soon, and be safe out there. Stay dry.